let's start. Hello everyone, so this is my studio apartment in Seoul room tour. Now I say room tour because it is a very small apartment. For reference, I'm an EPIK teacher living in Seoul. For those of you that don't know, an EPIK teacher is an English teacher in Korea. I was an English teacher last year in rural Korea, living in North Gyeonggi-do, and I moved down to Seoul in about February this year. Now, although the location is better, the apartment that I have now is a little bit smaller than the one I had last year. But a big benefit of being an EPIK teacher is that your apartment is rent-free and provided by the school. All you have to pay for are your bills, so your gas, electric, Wi-Fi, etc. If you live in a building or an office tower, you might have to pay a maintenance fee. I personally do. So all in all, I can't really complain that much. I'm in a really nice location as well. The train station is super close to where I am. And yeah, this video is going to be very short and sweet because like I said, it's a very small apartment. And a big thing to note is that everyone's apartment is completely different. I have friends with really big apartments. I have friends with even smaller apartments. I have friends who have double beds. I have friends who have single beds. I have friends who turned up their apartment with no bed. This is just one example out of many. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video and let's get to it. Okay, so I'm just doing a voiceover because I felt a little bit awkward talking in the hallway. So as you can see, this is my front door. Now, most Korean apartments will not have a lock and key, but they will have a keypad that you can put your passcode into to get into your apartment. Now, it's very small, I'm aware. But it really does the job. So there's not really much room to change my shoes. So I usually have to do something like, leaning over here to take the shoes off. But yep, I can't really put many shoes down here either. So they're the only ones that have made it. Then you're thinking, Henry, what's that to the right of you? It's the kitchen. Straight away. Now, a lot of Korean studio apartments do have a very small kitchen, so I'm actually very lucky to have two hobs, or burner if you're American. I have my washing machine, my sink, stuff under the cupboard. I would show you what's in here, but you know what? I'm gonna be vulnerable. I don't really know how to organize, so everything's just everywhere. Don't judge me, I can feel it. But yeah, it's a small kitchen. I can't really do much in here, but to be fair, I usually eat out most of the time anyway, so it's really fine. Anyway, so if we pan back over to our front door where we just came in and pan over a little bit more, we're in the bathroom. Hello. Ew, that was weird. So it's a tiny little wet room bathroom, but honestly, it does the job. Don't look at Sanu. It does the job, you know, sink, mirror, because it's a wet room, it has that typical Korean connected shower head, which I would advise everyone to get a water filter, because if you've seen a few of these videos, everyone and their mother is going to tell you to get a water filter, and they're right. Just get one because the water's really hard here. It can affect your hair or skin. I would also advise to get a vitamin filter. I have a vitamin C filter. I don't know if it does anything different, but it makes me feel better than everyone else. Toilet, which is very small for me. And then we have the inside of the bathroom cabinet, which just has some, like, you know, face essential things. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to report on with the bathroom. It's tiny, like I said. This is going to be a very quick apartment tour. And then here is the Pierre Resistance. There really is not much else to talk about. It's a very small apartment, but I kind of like it. Here's it on 0.5 to give you a bit more of an outline. So here we have one of my shelves. I have another shelf coming, which is for everything in that box, but it just hasn't arrived yet. So I just put some bits on here to make me feel a bit more homely, some books. Here's my little oven that I use to make like some, I don't know, chips or British food like shepherd's pie, stuff like that. Okay, don't look at the fairy lights. Oh my God. They're better when they're on, but right now it's daytime, so there's no point in putting them on. Do you know what, matter of fact, I'm gonna put them on. Okay, does this make any more sense now? I don't think so. Anyway, here I have a bunch of K-pop albums, which will be put on a shelf here eventually. I have a TV with cable, works pretty decently. I have a fan given to me from the previous teacher, shout out to Carmen. My washing basket, don't know why I'm showing you that. Okay, here is the very skinny wardrobe I have, which I'm not gonna open. It just has my clothes in it, like folded up, but it's very messy, just like me. But it's very thin, so it only fits about like my t-shirts and pajamas and stuff. Then we have my desk, which is pretty good. I rarely sit at my desk. I do it more when I like will write a card, or if I really need to do some like computer work, which is never. And because it's a very small apartment, I have to try and store everything underneath. So here you can see my computer and my dehumidifier, because this apartment gets so bloody humid. So here's me opening the window. This is my wonderful view. Oh my God. It's not that bad really when I think about it. And it's Seoul at the end of the day. I can't really argue, but I'm just gonna close it because it's too loud right now. Anyway, so yeah, that's my desk. And then we move over to my bed, which is a super single, I believe. It can just about fit 2 people uncomfortably, but yeah, I think most people will have just this kind of bed, if not smaller. I only know one other person with a double bed, and they purchased it themselves. Moving on to the wardrobe. Oh my God, do I really look like that? So this is my wardrobe, which I can show you because it looks a little bit neater. And that's not really saying much, but it just has all my clothes hung up in there. It kind of fits almost everything I own, and I think I own quite a lot of clothes, so that was quite good. And then my fridge, which last year I had a fridge half the size, just about this size below, so I'm very happy to have this. As you can see, I've decorated it wildly. I can show you what's inside my fridge. I mean, every EPIK teacher is the same. We barely have anything in our fridge, just more like ingredient stuff. So like, it's basically because we eat out a lot of the time. And then my freezer is about the same. I don't really have much in there, just some bread, some chicken, some ice, and some food waste as well. Yeah, and then I have a microwave up here, which is quite good, and then a cupboard with some more like dry foods in there. Yeah, here I have my ondol, which I use for like water or central heating. I have a light switch, which I never ever use because it's horrible. Ew, that is so gross. So I'm a lamp girly and a fairy light girly, obviously. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the whole apartment. Like I said, it's really small. Oh, an important thing I have, which not a lot of people have, is a divider. So I can close it like this, and then it feels a bit more separate, which I don't really close it very often. More if I'm like cooking and like it's kind of gonna smell the whole apartment up. I also have an AC, which I'm gonna get cleaned because it is getting so hot right now. So I'm gonna get that cleaned eventually, and then I won't be dying in my apartment eventually. One thing to comment on is Korea is super big on recycling, as many of you will know. I don't have a recycling divider, but I just usually put it in a few bags under the sink, which works okay for me. But yeah, if you have any apartment questions, whether that's living in Seoul or living in rural Korea, just comment down below. I'm happy to answer them. And yeah, this is my tiny apartment in Seoul, and I'm not mad about it. It does the job and it's free. That's the most important thing. I hope you enjoyed today's solo vlog. Sorry it was a short one. If you want me to do any vlogs of just like living in Seoul as a teacher, let me know and I can do that. Anyway, I'll see you guys on Thursday. Bye.